I joined in November 2001. I'd applied for West Yorkshire Police and I got to my final interview, but then I went on holiday and I met my now wife. My wife lives in Northamptonshire and therefore I moved down here and joined the force. Policing's always been part of me ever since I was a child. I'm very fortunate, I feel, that I've done a job that I've always wanted to do. Do we come in every day to do the best service we can for the victims and the community we serve? And that's what I do every day. I've never changed it in 18 years. Processes and things have changed around me, but crime is crime. People are people, and as long as we treat people with respect and we treat them, you know, my mum once said, treat people how you'd like to be treated yourself. My first arrest was for criminal damage to a motor vehicle. The individual was quite violent, so for my first arrest I ended up drawing batons. I had to handcuff the individual and place him in the back of the police vehicle, and at that point a bit of realism dawned in that, is this what every arrest is going to be like? And I probably had a little bit of a baptism of fire really, but what it did teach me is again how you speak to people really helps. By speaking to them calmly and in a professional way and actually having a bit of a laugh and banter with people. And I know that's hard sometimes because not everybody's the same. However, in that instance it really helped me, and it got us to the point where at the end of the interview he shook my hand and said, I'm really sorry for how I behaved. So I think that was my first lesson in terms of speaking freely, openly. I grew up in a council estate in Leeds. You know, I didn't have a privileged background. I didn't have some things, you know, that other children had. So it made me value more so my family and my home life. Probably the incident which is more serious and more impacted on me personally is I was Deputy Senior Investigating Officer for the murders in Wootton. A Chinese family of 4 were murdered. I had to be the first person or one of the first people in the house. You know, in terms of it. So some of the imagery and scenes that I saw in there still live with me to this day. I think what it made me were more determined though in terms of catching the offender, and as we know we did do that, and he's currently serving 40 years in prison. I had the utmost honour and privilege of meeting that family of the bereaved and deceased, and they couldn't be so thankful. You know, the SIO at the time was Sherlock Holmes and I were Dr. Watson, because that's how they related to, you know, British crime and, you know, detectives. You know, and if you think borders are a barrier, they're not, because we will go that extra mile to get people in. You know, I won't lie to you, it was difficult. You know, I was upset by what I'd seen. However, you compartmentalise it by putting all your efforts into catching the perpetrator of that offence, which is what we did. I've been really lucky that within my career I've had some really good mentors and almost father and mother figures who I've been able to look up to, and when I've had those difficult decisions or I've come to a crossroads in a decision that I need to make, I've been able to ask those people for help, advice and support. This job is the best job in the world. I feel really fortunate to come into work every day, and I genuinely mean that. I'm not just saying it because I'm on camera. I work with some fantastic people every day, and this is like my second family. I think unless you've experienced the forces approach before, you probably wouldn't get it, because you go through quite a lot together. So you go through the emotion together. You turn up at jobs where people will offer you physical violence, and let's be fair, you know, that's increased. Am I scared of it? Not really, and I'm not, because I work with great people. In fact, our gang's bigger than any gang in this county. So, you know, it may be a bit of one-upmanship at some time or another, and it's happened to me over my career. Do I let it get me down? No, because I know that we are fighting for the right things and that we'll always get to the right conclusion. It just sometimes needs working through. I think, you know, we welcome everybody, and all I can say throughout my career, and I'm a northern lad, everybody's accepted me. I'm an outsider, but I've had the utmost support and I've really enjoyed my time, and long may it continue. We help victims, we help communities, I help my colleagues. You know, my grandma's 94 now, so she's immensely proud, you know, and sees me on social media. She does go on the old Facebook and things, so when she sees me on there she thinks I'm some sort of star. I'm not, and I genuinely mean that. I'm just doing my job. People think we live in a bad place. We don't. You know, Northamptonshire is really safe, and I can say that from coming from other areas. You know, we live in a really, really safe place. There's a minority that's spoiling for the majority. Wouldn't change anything. Wouldn't change. I love the force. I think we're really going places now, and I think we're moving forward. You know, I love the people I work with. I think I've got the best job in the force, but I'm sure everybody you interview will say that. I love doing what I do. I come into work every day with a smile on my face. I tend to go home every day with a smile on my face. I can sometimes get grumpy, but I'm not known for it. And yeah, there's a lot of people out there who are out to get us anyway. So my it starts at home, and my home is the police force. And if we get that right and work together, then actually the job outside is a lot easier.